Hi guys, so just a quick breakdown for the week of the 12th of Feb. There is a lot of fundamentals this week, especially CPI on Wednesday for USD. I'm looking at NZD CHF now. I'm looking for buys. You can see that CHF is weak on the COT reports, and then bullish on NZD. So bullish NZD, bearish CHF. Looking for buys on here. I'll go to my weekly. Let's see my weekly. I'm gonna take this week. You can take this week over here. Put the demand zone over here. I'm not going to interrupt to lower time frames and make the video too long. I just want to break down the higher time frame. It's not going to be too educational. I just want to do the setups, set the alerts, and I'll send it in the group. So NZD bullish. We can look for buys. I wouldn't swing it just yet, but there is opportunity here. So just look out for the alerts. You want to wait till the market gets below the 50% fib, so it has to be at a discounted price for us to look for entries. So anything below the 50%, we will look for our lower time frame confirmations. So I'm going to go down to the 8 hour. Look for demand zones under that 50%. Let me go to the 2 hour. I wouldn't use this. This does look, it looks good. This looks good, but it's not under the 50% fib. And if we look at the entire, the down move, it has been tapped over here, so it's mitigated. So I'm not gonna use that one. What I will do is take the one just below the 50% fib. And there is some imbalance over here, so I'll use this down move. If there's anything lower, I will set alerts there as well. I doubt it would come this low, although that isn't mitigated. Okay, there is a tap, so let's leave that. That's low. Yeah, I think this one, can maybe take this. That's also tapped. So for now, I'm just gonna do an alert on the daily, just when it drops below the 50%. We can check the momentum when it does tap over here. There is equal lows over here. There is equal lows here as well. If you look at the daily here, just there's some equal lows. But I am more confident that it will come to this level, just below the 50%. I don't think it will drop lower than that. Audusd, I'm going to go to the main pairs on the watch list and that we trade usually. It does look a bit of a mess, but I did share this in the group, I think, like maybe 2 weeks ago. But let's look at this tap on this daily supply over here. Daily supply. And go to the 4 hour. We had this breakout structure to the left over here, and then it broke that demand zone. Okay, broke that demand zone. We had the flip over here. Now I'm looking for a continuation to the downside. You just have to be careful for this point because it did take a liquidity here. But let's focus on the sells. Let me just check the COT reports. Aud weak, dollar is stronger than Aud, so it pushed down. Does look good. Let me just delete this. This is a mess. Okay, let's go down to the 1 hour. Okay, so this supply over here, that a change of character. What's happening? Change of character there, I'm just gonna delete this arrow. Okay, and then over here we had, let's have a look. Took H and highs here, so this could count as a supply zone, but I would not take this. I would not sell off that supply. What I would do is, if you look at this trend line, okay, so ascending trend line, break and retest, a lot of retail traders would have sold over here. So we have a lot of liquidity, stop losses over here, so I would rather place a sell limit over here, or I would just set my alert. So let's wait for the alert to trigger in the group, Audusd approaching supply zone, and then we can wait for our confirmation on those sells. Also, this supply zone is not above 50%, so it's not at premium. So let's just wait for that to go all the way up. So that'll be a nice trade to the downside. Target. You can target this low right there for 1 to 4, but obviously we're not going to be using that SL. We're going to wait for the confirmation entry and obviously have a 5 to 10 pip SL or smaller. Let's check EU. EU, the bot is currently in this trade. Rejected or bounced off this lower time frame. Supply over here, I mean demand. So this demand. So the bot's in a buy. Euro is a bit stronger than the dollar. So it would be bullish. I wouldn't obviously keep it as a swing, but for a nice intraday trade, I would definitely stay in this. With the robot, I am also in it personally. We could perhaps have a push up to supply over here before having that sell off. And that is above the 50%, but because the euro on the COT reports is a bit stronger, I'd wait for this to flip, you know, for the dollar to gain more strength, maybe euro to drop a bit. Also, we can obviously only have a long-term bias after the fundamentals for USD. Let's check GBP USD. GBP. Okay, let's check the daily out. Okay, I have a weak pound, strong USD. Okay, we can check. It's a similar setup to AU. Tap this. Tap that. I'm just gonna check the weekly. How we close in the weekly. This is from the weekly perspective. This is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing maybe Monday a push down, and then New York starting to push up to fill this bullish wick. Maybe a bit higher, and then we could get a continuation. So let's just check for the entry. I don't think it's gonna sell off from this point. Now it could definitely this up move over here, this unmitigated wick, this looks like a good entry. So I'll place a alert over here, so we can look for a lower time frame confirmation from this unmitigated week. So whoever the early sellers will obviously just become liquidity at this point. So that's AU, EU, GU, Nzdchf. Let me check. Usdchf 4 hour. Check the daily. This is a nice step from this unmitigated week to the downside. Yeah, let's have a look at this. So let's take this down move. I would definitely not sell from anywhere over here. Look at that. No weak bodies over here. Definitely some liquidity. So let me check for, I'll have a spot for the alert. I might actually put the alert just below that liquidity. But let's check to the left what's happening here on the 20-minute. Okay, take this away. Nice lower time frame demand. I'll put an alert over here, but if you check just to the left, if you check this week, unmitigated week. So it could take out buyers over here, whoever's in the end of that, and then I would check with that. These two look more promising, these two zones on the 20-minute. Let's do that. Yeah, so this should be our two potential entries. Obviously, this is not a long-term bias. I would look for the buy over here just below this, taking out buyers over here, then check for buys, take out this liquidity, and then I would put my TP over here with an alert to obviously monitor any lower time frame shifts. Yeah, so that's the what's it? AU, EU, GU, UC, Nzdchf. That's the 5 pairs for this week. I'm gonna add the alerts, and then with the Discord automated market update bot, that bot is also on these pairs, so it will update you when it gets to a certain point on the 4 hour, when the 4 hour closes, and when the 4 hour is undersold, excuse that. So undersold or overbought, and then just check, confirm that with the alert, and then see if you can get lower time frame confirmation at those demand zones. And then also let me know for your one-on-one Zooms sessions this week and next week.